so this is one of our compost toilets, and it's a Vietnamese style compost toilet. So right here, down here we have 3 chambers. Right now 2 of them are closed, so they're decomposing, and 1 of them is open. So we collect the human manure here for until it's full, and we also put a lot of sawdust in there so that it's the good balance and it can decompose well. Actually, it doesn't smell like anything, like it's a very nice system, I think. And then we close it for a year. After a year, we take it out, we bring it down to the Drylands Nursery that we'll visit later, and we let it compose there for another half year. And this compost, we are using it to fertilize the trees in the drylands. So also not to eat from it, because it's a little bit of a controversial topic, if it's really safe or not, or if it's really clean or not. So we are using it to fertilize the drylands. It's not built for so many people to go in, but I want to show one thing. So I really like this picture because it was one of the first things that I learned in my permaculture course, where my teacher said, if you want to live a sustainable life, you should start to deal with your own shit, literally. So basically this explains the poop loop, is how we call it. So this one is used in most places, and the cycle is broken because we're using chemical fertilizer to grow our food. Then we're eating this food, we excrete the food, and then it becomes pollution and it pollutes our waters. But when the poop loop is intact, actually we grow our food, we eat it, we excrete it, and then it returns to the soil. So we're always aiming to close the loop and to use everything and to make sure that we can close the cycle. So this is what we call the Drylands Nursery. So here they are germinating the seeds, and most of the seeds are also collected in the area here. So they don't really buy a lot of seeds, they're just collecting their own and sprouting them here and then planting them out in the Drylands area that we are restoring. And this is the area where we put the human manure after it comes from the compost toilets, to just let it sit for another half year. And you can see it's really just like soil, doesn't really smell like anything. And that's what we use to fertilize the trees with.
Looks beautiful. Yeah.
Just compost.
Yeah.
This is the human manure from the compost toilet. Yeah, so here we have some of the appropriate technologies that we're using. This is a solar cooker. It used to be here, but I think they changed it because of the sunlight changing the direction. So basically you can put a pot in here, and some of the pots that we use, we have painted them black on the outside. So then the sun will shine in, and through the middle it will, how do you say it? Like it will light the pot and it gets warm. So it does take a lot of hours to cook something, but with a little bit of planning you can cook in this solar cooker.
How many hours would it take?
It depends on what you're cooking, of course. I know that, for instance, a lot of people tried to make baked potatoes, but it's very hard because, they take a lot of cooking time. So maybe in the summer, 6-8 hours, something like that. But yeah, of course, it really depends on what you are making. People have also recently tried to make coffee in there, but the water wouldn't get to a boiling point. Also, you have to kind of stay with it when you're cooking with this, because every 10 minutes you have to adjust the solar cooker for the sunlight. So it's quite an intensive project, but it's very nice, and also to demonstrate people on how they can do things differently.
Slow cooking.
Yeah, definitely. And then here, this is our hot water system. So through here run copper pipes that are getting heated by the sun. Then the water goes into this tank and flows down into the showers, and from the showers into the wastewater system. That I will show you later. But the water from the showers, for instance, is flowing down here through the pipe, and the water also that's coming from the sink outside flows to here. And when you open this, it does not smell very good, but we have a box here, and this box is filled with hay. And this is already like kind of the first filtration that we have. So this filters already some of the solids out and some of the grease. And then the rest of the water is flowing through here and going down to the wastewater system. And so how it works is that the solids, they sink to the bottom. Then there's kind of clear water in the middle, and on the top you have the oil. And every once in a while we also open these taps and we collect the solids and we just let it run until the water is more clear. And then the solids, we put them there in this box of straw, and then that we use for the compost. So again, to like recycle and to make sure that everything gets broken down properly.
So this is just the grey water.
Yeah, this is
So
just the grey water.
it's shampoo, natural shampoo, and soaps. And
Exactly, and natural soaps.
Okay.
Yeah. And also like the oils that comes from the pans that we've been cooking with. Yeah. And then here we have some also some appropriate technologies that we're using. This is a solar oven. It has a little door on this side. And yeah, if you want to take a look, you can. And it's like plated with this foil that's also increasing the heat inside. So I've been drying some things in here, but actually it's better to use a solar dryer that I will show you later, because I've heard that this one doesn't preserve the nutrients of the food that well. But for instance, also on no gas days, I've been making granola in there, like putting it in the day before, just some oats and nuts and stuff, and then putting it in there, letting it sit the whole day, and it will be really crispy in the morning. So basically you can put anything in here, fruits, herbs, we have rose petals in here right now and figs, and the air, it sucks through here, goes up, and then comes out through here. And so the air, you have like a strong airflow in here, which helps the drying process. So we make here teas, and we are drying fruits for the winter to eat. You want to look inside? And we actually have an acequia running through the village, which is a water channel, actually the one that we just crossed, where you saw the cat. And this is supplying the whole village with water for the gardens. And we have actually a schedule on which days who can use the acequia and which times, so that we don't overexploit the water. And so we water the gardens with the acequia a couple times a week, like a deep watering. And the water comes here through these channels, and it feeds the soil, or feeds the plants from the bottom. So it flows through here, then it comes here, and it's a very, very nice system. And also how they used to do it, like for a really long time here, that goes really way back.
So you open it there and then it runs
Yeah,
through.
exactly. Yeah, you open some of the channels and then it flows through the garden, and you just let it open for an hour or so it can have a deep soak, and you close it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it also helps a lot to not carry around with buckets the whole time. It's a very efficient way.
And there's still water in at this time of the year. It's still...
actually the aquifer here flows whole year round. Yeah, it's really special for this area. And so yeah, this is the aquifer that supplies the village with water, and other villages around, of course, as well. And it's a very, very beautiful place, but it also has a little bit of a sad story, because the water is really overexploited. So the people around, like the olive plantations around this area, take about 3 times as much water as the ground, because it's groundwater, can generate. So the predictions is that this is going to dry up in a very short amount of time. They think now around 10 years, I think. And in a nearby village, this also happened with another water source. And in 2001, there was still 100 people living there, and in 2016, there was only 4 left. So it's kind of, it's super important to defend this river and to fight for its rights. So that's also what Sunseed is doing and collaborating on with some other organizations. There is about 6 million olive trees around this area, and every olive tree takes 10 liters of water a day. So they are digging illegal wells to take from the groundwater and to feed to the olives. But it's a very difficult topic, because at the same time, these people that are growing the olive trees, often it's like a family business that they've been grown up doing this. So we tried to work together with the Junta de Andalusia to protect the Rio Aguas, but they didn't want to respond. So therefore, Sunseed started their own project called Plataforma en Defensa de Rio Aguas, and we are fighting with other people and with lawyers and with people in the surrounding areas that see the value of this place to protect the rights of the water and hopefully to do something about it and to protect it, because this is a very dry area, as you can see, but at the same time it has a really big biodiversity, and especially when there's places how do you say it, when two ecosystems meet each other, so the water and the drylands, there's a very big range and diversity of animals that live here and of plant species that grow here. So it's not only the people that are dependent on the water, but of course it's also the other species. And on the other side of the Posta, so if you feel like having a walk later, you can follow this path, you can cross the river and you can go up to the drylands. So this is where we're doing most of the nature restoration. Also there's a path up here that goes to the top terrace where we've planted lots of native how you call it, plants. We're carrying water up there every day from here, and we're feeding these plants. And you can already see, I mean, when you compare the photographs that have been taken in the beginning of Sunseed, so like 35 years ago, and you compare them with now, it's already much more green. And